on The Bobby Bones Show now.
Lauren Alaina.
Here she comes, walking down the hallway. Bring her on in, there she is. Come on in here. Have a seat.
Which one?
You can sit right there. This is a whole new studio. It's like, who knows?
I don't know where I am.
We don't even know where to sit. But they're building. Did you see what they were doing to our other studio?
No.
It's a whole renovation.
Oh.
Just for
I
you.
can see.
Just for you. How are
For
you?
the next time I come?
It
I'm
will
good. How are
be.
you?
I'm good. Where do we start? Oh, you know what?
I have no idea.
No, I have something. I have a super fan for you.
Oh, okay.
Because earlier we were talking about who we're super fans of. Because do you know that group BTS, the Korean pop group, K-pop? Are you familiar with them? Oh, the headphones aren't working.
Yeah, sorry.
Listen, we're work in progress, Lauren.
They're not plugged in. That seems like important for them to work.
Are you familiar with the K-pop group BTS?
No.
You haven't seen them on Twitter?
No, I know who they are,
Okay.
but I would not say I am familiar with them.
Me either. I just see them get like
I
20,000
saw them like on
retweets.
an award show, and the people were freaking out.
So
It's like, who is this?
people are waiting in line at Good Morning America for a week just to see them
No
perform.
way.
And I said, who are you a super fan of? And this guy here named Bryce said Lauren Alaina.
Really?
Yeah. And hey, Bryce, you there, bud?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Hi, Bryce.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
All right, hey Bryce. Now I told you I was going to give you 3 questions you're the biggest fan ever. So you've had a little time. Don't disappoint me, okay, Bryce?
Okay.
All right, Bryce. What is question number 1 for Lauren Alaina, who you're a super fan of?
All right. So my first question is, you have a lot of energy when you go out on stage and you're always having a good time. Is there any superstitions that you do or do anything to hype yourself up before you go out and perform a show?
Yeah, so I get everybody in my band together, and we all have secret handshakes. And if we don't, yesterday I did a show in town, and my guitar player and my utility player were on the other side of the stage, and I ran over there to do it. I'm very superstitious about it. We do handshakes every time.
I saw him
That's a
doing
good
it.
question. Let's give Bryce it's one good question.
That's a good question.
Bryce, good question. All right, what else? Go ahead, Amy. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
well, at the iHeart Festival, they were backstage, and I saw her literally go around and do it with each person. It's for real.
Yeah,
It was impressive.
I bet it's a different one.
Yeah, everyone has a different. We've made them up.
Did you ever see the clip of that teacher who had a different handshake with every single student in their class?
Yes, I love that.
Wasn't that so cool?
Yeah, I thought
Like,
that
kinda
was
special?
awesome.
Bryce, question number 2. Go ahead.
Question number 2 is, I know all your songs are amazing, but what is your favorite song to perform for a large crowd?
Probably Road Less Traveled, because it was my first number 1, and everyone sings it.
Yeah. That's a good question, too. Bryce, you're 2 for 2, buddy. Don't let us down, Bryce. All right, good. One more.
All right. So my family is familiar, but my favorite animal is a koala. So I feel like I'm definitely qualified to ask you this last question.
Oh, boy, you got a pun in
If
it.
you had a support animal,
As a true
On
fan that's
barbecue,
dropping a pun.
what would it be?
If you had
I'm so sorry I talked over you. What?
If you had a support animal on the road with you, what would you pick? Because I would pick a koala.
any support animal you want.
A support sloth.
Oh,
They're cuddly and they're
Have
real
you been to
slow.
Blake's? Have you been to Blake's place and played with a sloth?
No.
Can I even say that?
well, we don't know what you can say.
Yeah, who cares?
I have not. He has a sloth.
Yeah, Blake Shelton has a sloth.
Oh, well. I'm going to see him in 2 weeks, and I'm telling him I'm coming over
Go
to
over
see him
and
sloth.
yeah, go over to his. He'll let you come. And by the way, it's hard to get to his place. You have to drive through back roads like crazy. And all of a sudden, it's like everything you shouldn't have. It's like it's crazy. Yeah. Hey, how do you feel about that, Bryce? You feel good about that?
I do. This is so awesome. Like I told Brian before, I actually made my friends get to Route 91 2.5 hours early just so I could be along the railing for you for the first time. And you put on such an amazing show. So this has been a lot of fun.
Oh, thank you so much.
Look at this guy. Well, listen, Bryce.
I know.
What can we send Bryce that Lauren can sign or something? Do we have anything?
Hey, Bryce, where do you live?
I live in Austin, Texas, which you also did amazing at the Daytime Village.
He said you waved at him.
I did?
Yeah, earlier.
Do you just wave a lot
I
of
was,
like a section? So.
I know.
Were you the guy that was
So I was
jumping
doing-
up and down?
I was the guy that was jumping.
No,
up and
you're
down.
not.
Are you? Do you know who
I
this is
am-
really?
I don't know who it is.
Wait.
No,
No, but
but
I'm
there
saying,
was.
do you
It's not
remember
very often a guy is a super fan of mine.
But do you remember this guy? You think?
I
when you-
do think so.
Yeah.
Because you just
Yeah,
called
I
him
had
out.
my-
And a
I have my
cowboy
arm
hat,
raised
right? I
on.
think.
Wait, were you in a cowboy hat? If that's true, then I quit the show because Lauren is the greatest guest of all time. Go ahead.
So not the cowboy hat. I had my arm brace on, and as we were going,
You're like jumping up and down to the left of the stage.
Yes, that was me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like over by the
And
fence.
I'll actually be. I looked up tickets for Chicago.
I did think you had a cowboy hat on. I do remember.
Going off to the stage again, but wearing my koala onesie. That way I can qualify to be your next boyfriend.
Wait, I just did like that question thing on Instagram. That was you?
I know, and I was freaking out.
Well, it looks like you guys have a long history, and you
We
didn't enjoy
do.
it.
Dang.
Listen,
And he wants to date you. So that would be normal.
Bryce, here's the rule. Remember, I said this to Lunchbox. He's trying to be best friends with Johnny Bananas. I was like, you can't be full super fan if you want to have a relationship with someone.
Yeah.
Like, you at least have to play it cool and trick them before you admit you're a super fan.
You're trying to date me? Are you trying to date me, Bryce?
He quit. He's done. He retired. He passed
What was
out.
I didn't hear the question.
Are
I
you
said,
trying
are you trying
to
to
date
date me?
So we actually play for the same team, so I don't think that's going to work out in either of our favor.
Okay.
But I'm still a huge super fan.
Okay. Well, listen, Bryce, appreciate you. I think he's gay. Bryce, are you gay? Is that what it is?
Yes,
That's what he said. Same team. So they both like guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Bryce, love
Probably
you,
wouldn't
dude.
work out for us then.
Thank you for calling the show, and I'm glad you got to talk to your hero.
We'll be best friends, Bryce. How about that?
That sounds like a great plan to me, and I definitely appreciate your guys' time. This has been really, really fun.
Thank you.
All right, bud. See you later. Thanks for calling.
Yes, thank you.
All right, there he is. There's Bryce. I think since you're here, I'm gonna go and play your song. You good with that? Or
Yeah.
Or do you not want to hear it at all?
Oh, I would love for you to play my song.
All right, Lauren Alaina is here. We're gonna play "Ladies in the '90s." And anything you want to say before I hit play about the song?
No, it's like so much fun live. I've started to notice the people singing it at the shows. My music video is coming out very soon. It's like I just finally approved it.
Like next week, next couple weeks, kind of thing.
We don't have like an exact date, but I would say in the next 2 weeks it'll be out.
Here it is. Lauren's gonna stick around too, by the way.
On the Bobby Bones Show now.
Lauren Alaina.
We had a development while we were at a break there, where Lauren Alaina. By the way, Lauren Alaina, our good friend, our close friend. I would say maybe like one of my closest in all of country music.
Hey.
Right? Wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Like we actually are friends outside of this forsaken place.
we are.
Why are you so nervous right now?
I'm not.
You are? Because here's what happened. There's a dude outside in the hallway. And I was like, hey, what's that? I know who that dude is. And it's the dude who's in all of Lauren's Insta stories. And I hit Lauren up a couple weeks ago and I was like, hey, I'm just going to go and put you on this, Lauren, because I can. I was like, hey, when are you going to say that you and this dude are dating? And you were like, well, what'd you say back to me?
I don't remember.
She's so nervous right now. You said to me, well, we're just on together, and some people ask, and I say, yeah, but we don't really
Well, I
announce
said when
it.
people ask us, we say we are, but we're not really like announcing it.
I have never seen her so timid in her whole
Until
life
now.
until right now. And it wasn't even going to be an announcement, but he's here. Would you like to introduce him?
Yeah, this is my
Are
boyfriend.
you crying? Do you have a tear in your eye?
This is the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
This does feel very
It's supposed to.
like
Yeah.
junior high.
Yeah, it is. So go
This
ahead.
is my boyfriend, John Crist.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Crist is
Yeah.
here.
Hey, I wanted to talk before this, but I didn't know if I could jump in until I was officially introduced.
You can jump in whenever you want. Which, by the way, John Crist is a super funny comedian. And so how did you guys meet?
Well, who do you want to tell the story? 'Cause
Well,
it's
let's go with
different.
Lauren first, and then you can
Okay,
tell
I'll
your version.
interject.
Go
All
ahead.
right.
I responded to like one of his Instagram videos.
We call that sliding into the DMs.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I said, haha, you're funny. And then he said,
Oh, no, you don't have to tell the story.
Now you do have to tell the story.
Okay, this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
not.
yeah.
It's,
This is the
it's-
truth?
If it's true, go.
This
It's kind of
is
true.
Right.
It's
the
kind-
truth.
Okay.
And I was like telling people this story, and he said it wasn't true, and I pulled it up and showed them.
We went back, and
we went back
all the
and
way
it
in the
was-
archives. And
He
looked.
said, I too
Why you
grew
got-
up performing in church in Georgia. Was his first response
Why
to
did
me.
I say that?
It's like, does this guy know everything about me?
Oh wow!
No, guys.
You went straight psycho.
No, hold
He
on.
did.
You just knew that
I was
about
just-
her?
no,
Did you Google?
Were you on the phone earlier asking her questions? Was that you, her super fan earlier?
I was wearing a cowboy hat. No, I was like, all right, we joke around it now because I like a DM. I saw like I know country music like Garth Brooks, Luke Bryan. You know this, but I don't know all the way to like Lauren. I'm not that far.
Oh, how
No, I'm
much
not
further
far.
down am I?
No, I'm just saying I'm not farther.
Ouch.
But I see. No, but I saw. We said we joked around because the only reason we're here is because she had like a blue check mark by her name.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh.
She
what's
must be
up?
important if she's
Yeah.
messaging you with the blue check mark.
Well, that's how I live my life. If you don't have one, I'm like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, why?
Okay.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
The worst.
So I looked her up. So I didn't want to be like, who are you? So I went to, I guess, your Wikipedia page. And that's what it said right at the top. So I was like, oh, I guess we have that in common.
So you just
Looking
decided
back-
to throw it in there immediately?
Looking back, it was the wrong move.
No, but
I
we're-
don't think it was the wrong move.
Obviously, here we are
Worked
now.
out.
So you replied, because John's a really funny comedian. Would you consider yourself like classified as a Christian comedian?
But
Because
I
I
just-
don't consider you. Let me tell you what I consider, and you tell me if I'm wrong or right.
Okay.
I consider you just a funny guy who works clean.
I'll take that. Yeah, that's what I would call myself. That
And
I'm
so,
gonna introduce myself as that.
the
from
funny
now.
guy who
Funny guy who works. She always like tries to like knock me. She's like, he's a comedian. And everybody's like, who? She's like, he's a Christian comedian.
I
was
do
like,
do
okay.
that to embarrass him.
why would that be?
No,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
Lauren, why don't you tell him? Why would that
Yeah,
be
why is that
embarrassing?
embarrassing?
Yeah.
Well,
That's
no,
awesome.
just because like no one would ever say. Well, I guess they would say I'm a country music singer.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not. But he's always like, okay. When I say he's a comedian, and I go, he's a Christian comedian.
Well, Creed is a
It's
band,
funny.
but they're all
They're
Christians.
Yeah, but they're not a Christian band.
But they're not a Christian
They're not like in
band.
family bookstores.
Do you ever? But you'll do venues that's not a church.
Yeah.
So I'd
Yeah.
say you're a comedian that works clean. That's also a Christian.
Yeah.
And he's hilarious.
He is super funny.
Yeah, he's very funny.
Yeah. Well, it just depends on.
I
like,
have helped him quite a bit in his jokes
okay,
lately.
here we go
But
with this.
You write his material.
She.
I am.
Yeah.
And I don't get any credit. And I was just told that people get paid to do that. And I've been doing it for free. So
Yeah. She's like, I mean.
Is
yes,
it true?
we are in a relationship,
Is it true?
but
Is
I'm
it
here
true?
for the inspiration of the.
Oh,
it's a
she's
lot.
your muse.
Yeah. You know, how, like Taylor Swift, when she breaks up, she has a hit song. That's kind of like what we're doing here.
Have you written any material on the relationship with Lauren?
Okay, I only have one. This is like a kind of it didn't really work on stage, but I told, so I'm 35, her mom is 45, and she's 24, so I'm closer to her mom's age
Oh.
than her. So it's like when her and her mom are always like arguing about stuff, I'm literally in the middle. So I'm trying to I'm like, babe, like actually your mom makes some good points. You're like, you should save your money.
Wait, how did that one not work? I love it.
we probably didn't do it as
You
well.
and her mom
'Cause
can
that's
like
funny.
bond over Chumbawamba.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Do you
Good
have more
songs.
in common
Oh,
with
God.
your
Yes.
mom?
Yeah, and
No.
we like bring up stuff, and she's like, "I've never like heard of this." I'm like, "Well, okay, well." But with the one joke is my buddies in like, cause you know, loves your like high school buddies in a group text that you're still like your best friends. My buddy the other day is like, "John, you realize when we were going to prom, she was in first grade." I
That's
was
not
like, well,
true.
You don't have to say it like that exactly.
Was I in first grade? Third grade.
But doesn't matter. That's so
I
true.
was
like,
actually
John,
in
it's
third grade.
disrespectful. It's third grade. Oh, that makes it way better.
Lauren
That makes me
Alaina is here, and John Crist. Which, by the way, I guess you guys are officially a thing now, huh?
I guess so, yeah.
always my
His
dream.
mom, I've met his mom a couple of times
Now,
at like shows.
Is his mom 24? Because that would totally be a cool thing if you were closer to the mom.
No. No, but she's always called me his friend. Like,
You know how moms are.
one time she said to me, I did not know what to do. She goes, Lauren, I have enjoyed you so much. You're just so sweet.
This
and
is
I
my
love
mom's voice. This is
spending
how you
time with
think
you.
my
She's
mom
sweeter
sounds
than me.
like? Lauren.
And I've just like really enjoyed yours and John's friendship in this time. So I was like, well,
That's sincere. That's sweet.
thank you, Anne.
Did she know you guys were together?
Yes.
Does she not like that you're together?
Well, John hasn't introduced them to a girl in 10 years, so I
Okay,
think
told
they're
you not
all
to
just
say
like,
that on the show.
you haven't.
But you're
Just kidding.
35. Are you allowed to have a girlfriend?
No, they're very shocked,
Yeah.
I think,
That what you
that he's
like?
bringing like a girl
People
around. He
think
doesn't do that.
I was at Stagecoach with your earlier caller.
Oh, people think you're gay?
No, I don't think so.
people
They make a lot of jokes on my like stories because I make a lot of like feminine like characters. Like, oh, I love it, it's perfect. And then people always make jokes about it, but
But you haven't had a girlfriend in 10 years?
no.
What happened? Like,
Well-
why?
What are you scared of?
Okay, guys.
Yeah. By the way,
This is the best thing that's ever happened to
Lauren,
me.
Alaina, and John Crist are here. Like, what
What
has,
happened?
No, you and Bobby can maybe talk about this.
or maybe date whenever Lauren's here.
Okay.
Well, you know, I like the kind of career has always been like people say that sometimes you're like married to like comedy will always be like your mistress, kind of is what they say. Do they say that about what you do? I mean, you perform, you know what it's like. It's amazing, right?
Yeah, and awful.
Feels
but
pretty good. Yeah, mostly awful, but yeah, it also feels pretty
it's
good.
like you walk out on stage and you have thousands of friends,
Yeah.
and then you go back to your room alone and you have no friends.
Can we just let me be on your podcast? We will dissect this.
Yeah, come by the
It's
house.
a great idea. Yeah,
And so,
I've said that a million times.
yeah, oh yeah, you go from being the coolest guy in the room to the loneliest guy,
Yeah.
like that. But you decide now. Did you find a place? Like you went to some therapy, and now you're like, I can actually be with someone.
Well, I was actually. God kind of like told me, he was like, hey, there's this girl, she's really struggling in her life, you need to help her. So no, I'm just saying it's not like,
John.
no. I was like, I honestly would rather stay single, but she's like, she really needs you.
Oh,
she's really
You
struggling.
really take him over the team.
Yeah, I mean, so it's kind of like God told me. It's hard to
She's
argue.
24, her
Yeah,
mom's 45.
Yeah, she's conveniently also
You can
super
be the-
attractive.
You
so.
can be the bridge
Yeah.
between those two.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you two.
Goodness gracious.
So,
What do you have?
yeah, well, Bobby often says, I mean, because Bobby is in comedy, entertainment, like all the things, but a lot of people that you look up to in that field, I mean, I'm not that big into the comedy world, but that it's a very actually dark place for comedians. But being a Christian comedian, like, I mean, is it similar to, but like you got a lot of that, but you're just coming out. Like Bobby is a very clean show too.
Yeah, I work completely clean. But
Yeah.
for me, I think I was just searching for love. So that's why I do anything.
Yeah,
I, like, please love me.
Well, first of all, let's have this conversation between me and you because Lauren always likes to say she's funny in her show, but she's not a comedian like
And
us.
here-
She's like, I'm funny too.
Lauren,
I'm like,
I must take
okay.
up for him
Yeah.
because you're not supposed to be funny. So anything you say that's funny is like you're just playing with house money.
Thank you.
It's like people don't expect it, so it's and if you don't say something funny, they don't even know you're trying to be funny. They just think you're talking.
I went to the first time I saw her at the Ryman. We went out. It was whose show was it? It was at.
It was like Darius was doing Darius and Friends or something.
Yeah, I played that. You played that.
John went to that.
So I like
yeah.
I was on Broadway somewhere. She's like, well, I got a show, and I walked over, and I was like, I saw her. I knew she was like a singer, but then she was like being all like charming and hilarious. And as a comedian, I was in the back. I was like, I don't like any of this. I don't like any of it. I was like, oh, she's so
she's
funny.
good at
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah, I was like, I got one skill, and she'd take that from me too. Great.
Maybe there's like a comedy music special between you two.
Oh, that would be awesome.
No, it's
But then imagine it would take like a year to be in
No.
production, and then it would finally come out, but you'd be broken up, and it'd be
Yeah,
awkward
we'll
having to
definitely
dress
do
for
that.
it.
that
It's
would
gonna be
be
really
so
weird.
Awkward.
we were trying to discuss. Now, granted, it's the Bobby Bones show, so but I was like, is the story John Crist has a new girlfriend or Lauren Alaina has a new boyfriend?
The story would be if you're both on a plane and it crashed, who would get the top billing of the headline?
Yes.
And it would definitely be Lauren.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. That's a good point. I didn't think about it like that, but yeah. I mean, if we go to First Baptist, I'm the top of that headline.
Did you ever do comedy in church?
Oh, yes. My dad was a preacher.
So you would go and actually use them as your audience?
100%. Yeah.
And how
For a
was that?
long time.
Do you remember your first joke? Your first church joke?
Oh, man. I had, let's see. Well, the first joke I ever told, this is embarrassing, but I was like being hilarious at church. You ever been to church? There's like a guy after the worship service, he comes up and does the announcements. So I was like being the funny guy. But then I went to they were like, you should go to a comedy club. And I went in all confident. I was like, yeah, I'm going to be hilarious. And they were like, no, thank you. I was like,
Because your church laughs at you
Yeah.
because they're all nice.
I was like, what's the deal with David Bathsheba? They're like, boo. I was like,
What's the deal with Methuselah? Was he really that old?
That's actually
Come on.
Do you actually have a joke about that?
no, but kind of. But they say the best comics say if you're going to be great, you should just write about what you know about. So if you're like I grew up in church. My dad's a preacher. I was homeschooled. I used to work at Chick-fil-A. Like I'm all the Christian things. So I just started writing about that.
Wow, you worked at Chick-fil-A. That's like cherry on top.
You should go to a Chick-fil-A with him. It is hilarious.
Was it like a special language?
They like
that
crawl out the window to talk to him. They are so
I
excited.
bet. That's probably like
I
your
have never seen
wheelhouse.
anything like it.
It's like
the favorite son has come home?
yeah.
Hey, at
But then I go-
Chick-fil-A,
yeah.
I am his girlfriend.
Yeah.
It is for sure John Crist has a girlfriend, and she's in the passenger seat, and we don't see her. We think she's there, but
I just make a lot of content about Chick-fil-A. That's probably why. Yeah.
Listen to this. Well, Lauren, this has been fun with you two. I had a whole bunch of stuff for you. Let me run through these questions with you real quick.
okay.
All right. Lauren Alaina is here. By the way, Ladies in the 90s. That's her song. What is your Uber rating, Lauren? Do you know?
I'm really upset about it. I just saw. I have a 4.2.
What?
Wow. I've never met anyone with an Uber rating that low. Are you
Hey.
peeing in the car?
Hey, babe, this has been great and all. That is.
Like,
How
What are
can
you
that be
doing?
true?
You got to be talking so
But
much.
Hey, she's
I was talking.
Yeah, she's got to be talking.
Yeah.
No, I was talking to my Uber driver about it, and they started giving bad ratings to people who don't give ratings for their driver.
But
they can't know.
That's what like
That's
our
what my
therapist
Uber
said,
driver
that
told me.
just-
They
it-
can't know. Not
No,
accurate.
that driver doesn't. Uber will give you a bad rating
It can't
if
be any-
you're not
Wow,
rating.
you have a 4.2. I just checked mine just to make
Let
sure.
me just see.
So I
Let
can
me
make
just
fun of
see.
you
I
properly.
feel like it's-
I'm a 4.7. So
Let me just
Oh, I
look.
can't. I'll wait for
Lauren,
this.
what emoji would you use to describe your life?
The poop emoji. No,
How do you find your rating?
Show them how to find it.
this one,
Go ahead. Oh,
the one with the big eyes.
okay.
I'm gonna tell you my Uber rating. I'm gonna find it.
wow, of course.
Hey,
He
can you
probably-
announce this? Can you announce
He
this
probably
on
gets
the
out of the car and says,
right.
"My pleasure."
I'm looking here.
Oh, I
John,
have a 4.85.
by the
Oh,
way,
you're good.
John Crist has an Uber rating of 4.98.
Come on.
Somebody's friendly.
Who's out of whose league?
Wow, that's true. I think you need to kind of step up and find a
I
girl.
have
with higher-
a 4.85.
Oh, you
Hey,
went
but
up.
listen.
Oh, you're
I don't
up.
know why I thought it was
Hey,
low.
when God told me, He said it was going to be a trial. When He told me to date her, so He didn't say it was all going to be.
You guys
perfect.
had a lot to talk about
Yeah.
Lauren
Yeah.
specifically.
Well, I'm very important.
Let me
so
find my Uber rating here.
God knows
Do you-
what's
What
up.
point? Is that real?
Do
A
you
4.85.
do you tip Lauren every time you get out?
Yes.
Honestly,
No.
Well, I don't tip every time I get out, but when I go back.
you got a higher one than me. I have 4.82.
4.82.
Okay, so I'm higher than everyone but John.
Yeah,
I feel good
but
about
you did
that.
say
Get
4.2.
used to that.
One more. Lauren, what's your favorite? What's the last show you binged?
Hold on. What was that question we missed?
What? Now I want to know.
No.
What's the last show you binged?
Oh, I don't know if I'm like
do you
currently
mean you don't
binging
know
one. I
if
don't know
you-
if I can say
is it
it.
like?
Wise.
Like Oz on HBO, and you're
It's called Schitt's Creek.
Oh yeah. I got in trouble for saying it.
SCHITT.
I don't know. Can that go on the air?
I tried to ask.
It can. Right? SCH.
Well, the show isn't a
Yes,
curse
it's
word.
the name of the show.
It's not
Okay.
Oh, you should
Yeah.
just have spelled it.
SCHITTS.
SCH.
I think that's how they
Right?
spell it,
This
right?
is why my mom calls her my friend because of this right here. She's concerned.
Listen.
I could have just made up a different show, I guess. Sorry about that. My mom's having a heart attack, literally, if she's listening. So here we are.
Lauren, you have been extremely nervous all show long. It's been great. John, it's good to meet you, man.
Hey, we're gonna do a show together.
Come to the house.
Yeah,
Come to the house. We'll do the podcast.
talk about our problems.
We can. I mean, don't you get into any sort of performing because you have problems?
Yeah, no one wakes. That's what I've said. No one wakes up. We're like, hey, there's 8,000 people. I'm gonna make them laugh for an hour. Just me.
Nobody well-adjusted
No one
goes,
Yeah.
I must prove myself to people right this moment.
And like the feedback, like they say, everybody's biggest fear is public speaking. Multiply that times 100 as a comedian, because if it doesn't go well, everyone knows.
And it never goes well for a long time. And then
Yeah.
even when it's going great, there are times where it doesn't go well.
Yeah,
And it shouldn't go well all the time or you're not trying anything new.
it's called a TED Talk.
That's
Okay.
true.
I didn't know
should-
like anything about comedy when
Did you need to go into this right now?
I started. No, I was
She
just gonna
doesn't know
say
what
he
it
took
was.
me to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
my first like comedy club ever, and there was this guy that
I
like
don't know what you're about to say.
did really bad,
Oh yeah. It's like open mic night.
and he did really bad, and I wanted to cry for him. It was like
It's awkward.
very uncomfortable for everyone involved, and he had to like walk off. I was like, if that happened to me on
You
stage,
want to go hug him?
I did.
Yeah.
I said, John, can I go hug him? He said, no, he's fine.
He came out here voluntarily.
And he'll
He
grow
knows.
from it. He'll either
Yeah.
grow or go.
Yeah.
One of the two. What's your favorite joke, John?
My favorite joke of all time?
The favorite joke that you do that makes you feel good.
I was I always say my favorite joke ever is I was with Jeff Foxworthy. This is one of his jokes. He said if he's like, you might be a redneck if your son's name is Dale Jr. and your name's not Dale.
There he is. Come on. There they are.
That's not even me. The claps are for him. But
Hey, we'll give it up for Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah.
It has been wonderful. Lauren, Alaina, always good to see you.
Good to see you.
John Crist,
Are we allowed back or no?
you are.
And if there's
I will be back.
How about anytime we have any kind of adjustment, breakup, or engagement, we have to come here. We'll just do every time. We'll
This
just do
will
it
be
here.
the announcement.
Yeah.
Wait,
It's like
so-
if you haven't heard it on the Bobby Bones Show, it doesn't exist. I'm sorry.
Okay, you.
Wow, do y'all talk engagement?
No.
No. I've been just saying. She's like, this
okay,
is
but do you talk breakup? Okay.
No, we don't. We don't.
All right. We're gonna finish this up. We've spent a lot of time together. Lauren, again, you're my favorite.
You're my favorite.
John, you're like 16th, but still,
I'll take
I
it.
feel like
Top
it's
20. I'll
And
take it.
climbing.
I definitely brought you up higher on the list.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay.
You came in with the favorite, so get you some brownie points.
You're now together. This had to be an awkward come in, knowing you were bringing him in. What was the conversation like in the car, bringing John up here?
I said, please don't say anything to embarrass me. It is live.
That is true. All right, we're gonna go. Amy, anything you want to say? Lauren, Alaina, and John Crist.
I'm super happy for y'all.
New
So
country's funniest couple.
I love
Literally just started dating her. She already has a list of like baby names. in her
Okay,
phone.
that
She has
is
a lot
not
of-
true.
I was like, this is a little early for
Dale
this.
Jr. Is that one of them?
Hey, if I hear like a baby name and I like it, I put it in like a baby name folder.
Oh wow, is that scary as a new
But
boyfriend?
it has nothing to
see
do
that?
Like,
with him.
please-
Just like whoever
But
I
if
have
you
kids
learn-
with, this is what my kid's name's gonna be.
We need female listeners.
Has nothing to do with him. I'm
Yeah,
Female listeners need to tweet and say, do they do this? Or do they not do this?
100%. They.
We
I
need
know
to
that they
if
do.
people do this or do they
let's-
not
let's-
do
but
this.
Bobby,
But
let's,
if you do, make sure it's a way so we don't stumble across it.
right? Because I feel like if Bobby was on a first date and the girl, like the
Yes.
waiter, had a cool name and she was like, "Excuse me," I could
First
enter
date,
this into my phone.
first date, that wouldn't bother me.
It wouldn't bother you.
First,
Okay,
not first date
That's a
because
cool
she's
name.
not already making plans to name
Yeah.
her kid Khaleesi.
she had it in the
I
books
think.
before you.
I
You're
think
right.
John knows I'm not really making plans to have babies.
with him.
Why?
with
You
him.
just say it like that.
All right, we're gonna go. Lauren, Alaina, John Crist, Lauren, John. hope
Do
you-
y'all just laugh like the
Happily-
whole time you were together?
Yes.
That's
I
That's
watched
all we do
Lauren's
is laugh.
Instagram story of her, you guys at the baseball game, the Sounds game, and laugh my butt off, man. We'll follow Lauren and John because they're funny on Instagram. That's all. I have to hit the button. 'cause
Okay.
We're gonna be here all day. We'll see you guys soon. All right. There they are.
Thank you.
The Bobby Bones Show.